Welcome to another video in this channel.
Today's movie is about a man named Pushpa who went on becoming a syndicate boss. So let's start the movie. But before that, please subscribe to the channel. The story begins by showing a Japanese tradition where the groom gifts an expensive violin-like instrument to the bride and is made from special red sandalwood, which is grown only in Sheshuchulu forest in India and is smuggled to Japan via China. Then the lead character of the movie enters, who is caught by the police for smuggling a truck full of red sandalwood, but soon frees himself by bribing the police, and when asked his name, he introduces himself as Pushpa Pushparaj. After this, the story goes into flashback, where Pushpa works as a coolie in a factory but leaves the job when asked to see it properly by the owner, and also the owner's personal assistant named Keshav joins him because he sees full potential in Pushpa. In village, the bookkeeper insults Pushpa's mother in front of everyone for not repaying his loan. Then Pushpa sells his buffalo and repays his loan, and beats the crap out of bookkeeper for insulting his mother in front of everyone. At night, Pushpa waits for his daily wage vehicle, but there arrive two vehicles named 100 and 1000. When asked the difference, Keshav tells that the 100 is normal job, but 1000 is a job of illegal activities, and then they both go in thousands. Then they arrive in Sheshuchulu forest, where they do an act of worship and start to cut the red sandalwood, which is illegal. Afterwards, they see a police jeep heading towards them, and everyone gets frightened and stop their work and start running. Pushpa tells everyone that we should not fear these police, otherwise they will take everything we have worked until now. When police arrive, DSP Govindappa tells them to hand everything, but Pushpa tells him we have nothing and we are just shepherds. DSP threatens Pushpa and points his gun to his head, but Pushpa tells him that you only have 6 bullets and we have 60 excess. Seeing unity of Pushpa's people, the DSP backs off and goes away, promising to return. Later, while collecting their wages, DSP returns with a full force, but this time Pushpa throws a stone at them and starts a war, and Pushpa fills the truck with loads and starts driving the truck himself while police are following him. While chasing, he is seen standing alone in the middle of the road with no signs of the truck, and then goes and sits in the police jeep. In jail, police ties and beats him. Then also he doesn't say a word about the truck. When a policeman asks him his surname, he remembers a flashback where his other big brother did not allow him to use their surname because he was a illegitimate son born to their father. And since then, Pushpa's left shoulder was up. Later, the owner of the truck, the Reddy gang, which included 3 brothers, namely Jolly Reddy, Jaga Reddy, and eldest Konada Reddy, come to meet Pushpa to ask the location of the truck. Pushpa agrees to tell them the location if they bails Pushpa and give 5 lakh rupees to him. First they say no, then later on agrees to his demand. Pushpa takes them to the location inside the jungle where a small pond is located, and the truck is inside that pond. As per the deal, Jaga Reddy gives him the money, and while returning, Jolly doesn't allow him to sit in his car because of him being a coolie. Due to this, Pushpa's ego gets hurt and he tells Keshav to buy a new red car and goes to village to show it to his mother. For saving his truck from the police, Konda Reddy himself invites him to the meeting. In meeting, Konda is worried about the police checkpost, and then Pushpa gives him an idea to fill the milk tanker with half sandalwood and upper half with milk. Due to this idea, they smuggle sandalwood right under the nose of police for many days, and they get filthy rich. One day, Pushpa sees a girl named Shrivalli who sells milk and gets in love at first sight with her. One day while they are about to cross the checkpost, Govindappa stops them and checks the truck. When caught, he tells them to work for him if they want their freedom, to which they agree. Later we are introduced to another character, Mangalam Shrinu, who is the leader of the entire syndicate of the smugglers. Shrinu entrusts Konda Reddy to keep 200 tons of his stock safe at his godown, as Konda's younger brother, Jolly Reddy, is deemed incompetent. Pushpa is given the job. Govindappa now knew the secret location of Konda Reddy's godown, so he decides to raid it. But Konda calls Pushpa in time and informs about the raid. Pushpa sends Keshav to close the dam, and Pushpa throws all the logs in the river side to the godown, thus saving it from being seized. And when police arrive, they get nothing. After hearing this incident and saving hundreds of tons from being seized, Shrinu is very happy for Pushpa, and so he throws a party where all members of syndicate, big politicians, policemen, businessmen are present. Pushpa overhears that Shrinu is selling the wood at a much higher rate than what they are paid. He asks Konda to demand a fair share, but backs down as going against Shrinu seems risky. So he asks Pushpa to do it, to which Pushpa agrees. Pushpa meets Srivalli and instantly falls for her. On their engagement day, his half-brother Mohan denies Pushpa's lineage because he was born out of wedlock. This angers Pushpa, and he tries to beat his half-brother. But in this rush, his mother gets injured. Pushpa meets Shrinu, who was killing a man who asked to increase the price from 25 lakhs to 50 lakhs, but is killed by Shrinu for asking this. Seeing this, Pushpa says that he came for the same reason, but seeing the risk demands 1 crore per ton. Pushpa tells him if he doesn't increase the rate, then he will directly deal with the Chennai Murugan. Shrinu gets shocked after listening this, and his men attack Pushpa, but Pushpa overpowers them. Pushpa then goes to Chennai himself and cuts a deal with the Chennai Murugan to sell the red sandalwood. He then informs Konda Reddy that he has done the deal for 1.5 crore per ton, which Pushpa and Konda Reddy agree to share equally. Here Jolie gets to know that the police informant was none other than Srivalli's father. So in order to save her father's life, he tells Srivalli to spend one night with him. In order to save her father's life, Srivalli gets ready and goes to Pushpa's house because she loves him, and after hearing the whole story, Pushpa and Srivalli go to Jolly Reddy, and there Pushpa beats him, making Jolly paralyzed. While Pushpa and Keshav were talking about Jolly Reddy, Konda hears them from outside the door, and he takes Pushpa for some work. Keshav, knowing that Konda knows the incident, sends danger message on Pushpa's device. While Konda gets ready to kill Pushpa, Shrinu's men attack them to avenge Pushpa, but Konda is killed in this process. Amid the confusion, Pushpa manages to counterattack them. Konda is killed, but Pushpa saves Konda's brother Jakka Reddy. Pushpa also captures Shrinu's brother-in-law Mogilisu and kills him, even though Shrinu begs Pushpa on call to not kill his brother-in-law. MP Naidu arranges a truce between Pushpa and Shrinu at Konda Reddy's house. After knowing what Pushpa has done in last several days for giving huge profits, MP makes him the leader of syndicate. After 6 months, Pushpa becomes an influential person. Due to Shrinu's inability to avenge his brother-in-law, his wife Dakshini slits his throat, which injures him. While Pushpa was climbing success, DSP Govindappa resigned, feeling guilty because his informant was killed. Jolly wanted to take revenge badly, but was not in good condition, and Shrinu and his wife were waiting for perfect opportunity. Later, a ruthless police officer Bhanwar Singh Shekhwat takes charge as the district's SP. Pushpa offers him a bribe of 1 crore. Shekhwat, however, intimidates and ridicules Pushpa for his lineage and not giving respect by addressing him as Sir. Pushpa gets angry by this insult and fists his fingers. Shekhwat threatens to shoot his hand if Pushpa does not unfold his fingers. In a desperate situation, Pushpa backs down and leaves the station. On the night of Pushpa's wedding, Pushpa and Shekhwat drink together, expressing contempt on how he was ridiculed in their first meeting. After this, Pushpa reminds Shekhwat about how he insulted him, and then he takes out Shekhwat's gun and shoots in his fist. Then he pressures Shekhwat to remove his clothes, while he also does the same. Pushpa says that his stature, as that of a syndicate boss, remains the same nonetheless, while Shekhwat is nothing without his police uniform, to the extent that even his dog would not recognize him if who is naked. After this, Pushpa returns to his wedding while Shekhwat goes back home semi-naked, and as predicted his dog starts barking. In rage, Shekhwat kills the dog and tells to bring the bribe money given by Pushpa. When the constable brings the money, he throws it on the ground and burns it, and here the part 1 of the movie ends.